going on, ladies and gents? Today we are going to rebuild the mighty Galatasaray, and it is going to be a big challenge. I'm going to try and keep it realistic by signing older players, as Turkish sort of teams usually do, and pay them quite some big wages. If you do enjoy the rebuilds, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and once again, it's completely free to turn on that notification bell. It helps me out, and also, you'll never miss another post. Let's get cracking. So I will be honest, I have got a little bit carried away and already simmed one season because I love the Turkish league to absolute bits. And I've gone away and I've already done one season where we did come out and actually win not only the league, but we went invincible, 34 wins and 4 draws to make it up. But a little bit about the club before we go into the entire season breakdown. You can see here a 4-star reputation. That is on the up because of the season we have had. We've also accomplished 2 training facilities, 2 youth facility stars as well, and 4 on the silver youth recruitment. So realistically, apart from the reputation, we're actually looking pretty average, to be honest with you. The bank balance is always pretty okay with Turkish teams, especially like Galatasaray. It's not going to be a PSG or anything like that. You don't get gifted loads and loads of money, but usually enough to bring in a few sort of free agent players who obviously once were incredible players, and to be fair, still can get the job done. I mean, the likes of Dries Mertens, for example, is a very good example of that. He's 38, but he still has got the odd goal in him. Now, what I will say is, the owners, they're preparing for the elections, so of course, a great thing in Turkish football is that, in my opinion, and as a team, we have got a lot of history. 1 Europa League, 1 Super Cup, 25 Turkish Super Leagues, 19 Turkish Cups, 18 Turkish Super Cups, and loads of other trophies here. So we are a team that have really got a lot going for us, and as you can see, it was all the way down here, and this season we have bumped it all the way back up. So it wasn't the only thing we did go and win. I'm going to go and show you some other stuff we accomplished in season 1, because we also are going to lift the Turkish Cup final, and I will say, I'm going to be honest with you, it was one of the easier finals I've played ever this year. A great start from Tierra there to make it 1-0, as we are going to go down the left hand side here. A great ball in, and an even better finish from Yunus at the back stick to make it 2-0, as we are going to find a third with Sasha Bowie, as Torreira is going to find Bowie out on the right into the middle. It would have been a penalty, but Dries Mertens is going to make it 4-0 in 30 minutes. Ziyech is going to find Yunus into Bowie again, who is going to make it 5 in 50 minutes. We then make it 6 in 60 minutes. A perfect 10-minute ratio at the moment, as Yunus is going to find Bowie back into Yunus to make it 7 in 64 minutes. And the last goal comes in the last kick of the game, down the left. A great ball across. Trophy 2. So we're going to go ahead and win the Turkish Super Cup 5-1 over Besiktas. So again, a very comfortable final against a very strong Turkish team. The only thing we didn't win is going to be the Friendly Cup and also the Champions League, where, to be fair, we do okay. We get to the round of 16, but of course this rebuild is not going to feel complete until we win everything, hopefully, in one season. But that is a really big ask. Now, what I will say is, in terms of an actual team, we are going to be deploying a little bit of a teaser, because this tactic actually comes out on my main channel tomorrow. So anyone that comes over, you're getting a little treat, because you're getting a little preview of this tactic. Now, I'll save the breakdown for tomorrow, of course, but what I will say is, stat-wise, we're absolutely cooking. I mean, we've got Sasha Bowie with 20 assists. We've got 35 coming in from our left-back. And I will say, he did play an absolute ton of games, but still, incredible. 17 assists for Torreira, Sarah with 10, 20 coming in there for Roland. But goals, 63 for Osimhen. And no, we cannot afford to get him on the permanent. I already tried. Unfortunately, that can't happen. We've got Ziyech with 18, 14 there coming in for Yunus. Solali with 23, 11 for Sarah. It is really good stuff. And by the way, down here, Yilmaz with 25. Let's not forget that as well. 19 for Dries Mertens, a man who is obviously now 38, and he is going to be pretty much on the decline quite quickly, but they are still getting goals. Icardi as well. But as you've probably seen, as I've been waffling for the past couple of minutes, the team is looking pretty small, and obviously we're going to lose Osimhen. I'm probably going to let Jacobs just go back as well, but we are going to welcome in next year Zaha, Zanilo, Kutlu, and also the likes of Karastas. So we have got 4 players coming back, and to be honest, Zaha and Zanilo are going to sort out the wings big time. That's a real big comeback, but it is a big loss losing Victor Osimhen. So we are going to go and see what we've got to spend going in what is going to be the second season, and we are going to go and look at a grand total of 33, a little bit more maybe, £37 million. Now, I'm looking at this, I'm going over back to the squad, looking at the contract situation. There's a few players that need contracts. We've got to replace a big goal scorer and striker, or maybe maybe I trust. To be fair, I might trust the likes of Yilmaz for a season. We've also got Batshuayi just lurking here. We've got Demabre as well, just lurking on the bench. I might just let the strikers sort of battle it out, because I think for a season, we can get away without signing a full out and out, you know, expensive striker. Seaman's come in, and I mean, 63 goals. What a loan season for him, but he can't stay here, unfortunately. We are going to go over now to season 2 with the small budget. I will say small budget because it is what it is, and hopefully we can go and make some magic happen. Let's go and see. So we are going to lose a player who, to be fair, has been at the club for absolute years. So I thought I would mention him. That is going to be Muslera. He is going to go on the free, where he has gone to Fulham. And do you know what? He's not even played that many games. So probably not the best move for him. But there again, he is 39. It was time for a move. I said I wouldn't sign him, but do you know what? He actually looks okay for a sort of option to have out in that area. 26 years old. He cost me a total of £6 million. He's come in and done exactly what I would expect. 7 appearances and also 4 assists. So do you know what? In them games, he's actually dropped an 8.2 average rating. For a player to come off the bench or play some pretty small games, he's actually the perfect candidate. So welcome in Jacobs. Hopefully the Turkish viewers will love this. I have brought in Salih Ozkan, coming in from the likes of Wolfsburg. He comes in for 9.2 million, where he played 30 games, 4 goals and 11 assists, dropping a 7.39 average rating. And what I will say is, look at him. He's an absolute machine, 28 years of age, and he's just incredibly well-rounded. You know me, if you're a big viewer of the channel, I like a midfield player with work rate, good tackling, good stamina, decent pace. He's got that. He's got the aggression. He's got the bravery. He's got the determination. When I want a midfield player, he is ticking majority of the boxes. Welcome in. And another Turkish signing is going to be Ozan Kabak. Now, I did make this signing purely because he was a Turkish player, and of course that does help, but also he looks pretty decent. Now, don't get me wrong, there are better options out there with the money we probably spent. We spent a total of 14 million, but to be honest, he's come in, he's done an okay job. He's not going to play every game at all because he's not the best option we've got in the team, but he is going to get the odd game here or there, and he still could improve slightly. And it's not as if he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's not the best of the best, but obviously having him in as a Turkish player helps with registration, etc, etc. So welcome in to Kabak. And this player, well, he's an absolute gem in goal. That is going to be Kakir, coming in from the likes of another very, very good, decent Turkish team. For £13 million, we're going to actually pick him up, and he plays pretty much every game, and he keeps 22 clean sheets. So he has come in and absolutely delivered to the highest level you could ever imagine. And he might be 30 years of age, but again, that's still 3 or 4 years for a goalkeeper. He's Turkish, again, great for the registration, and he's actually an incredible goalkeeper. So it ticks like 3 boxes. And what I will say is we have lost a few other players here. Nothing to really worry about too much, but we have brought in 4 incredible players. So let's go over to season 2 and hopefully maintain the league title. Of course, the Super Cup final, where we are going to find ourselves 1-0 up inside of 48 seconds. And due to some very good pressure there from Zanilo, back from loan, makes it 2 inside of 20 minutes. We then have Salir with a ball into the box, and it's a bit scrappy. Finds a set-piece taker once again, and he is going to find Zanilo, who is going to make it 3-0. A ball in the box, and it is going to be another set-piece routine. You need to be going to get them set-pieces because they absolutely cook, as Bowie is going to find the ball into the box, and this new man, who has come back from loan, is like a new man. What a game. So are going to win back-to-back league titles, and I will say we're doing this with quite ease, to be honest. A 20-point advantage over Besiktas, and only losing 2 games against 2 teams we probably should be beating, a 6th place team and a 9th place team. So we are not having any issues against the big boys, and it appears that our players, if you look here, they're absolutely taken over. So do you know what? Icardi, the only downside to him, he's only 33. That's actually quite young for this team, to be fair. So he's still got a season in him, hopefully. Our new goalkeeper is doing absolute work. And this man, let's just appreciate him, because he's come back from loan and he has put up 22 goals and 15 assists, dropping a 7.79. He has enjoyed a stellar season. The Turkish Cup final actually went off to a bad start. A bit of an own goal there, it looked like, but we do find ourselves getting back into the game just in about the 30th minute to make it 1-1, and from that point, with Bowie into Torreira, back into the box, and knockdown from Icardi, and it's so elegant, rapid play to make it 2-1, and yeah, we're going to find a third with Torreira. Pluck that one out the back of the net, and we wrap this game up for another Turkish Cup win, 4-1 fashion, a great ball in. It's too easy. Meaning it is going to be another Turkish treble winning season. The Champions League, We don't really progress too much in it. Again, it is against FC Bayern. Did we get battered? Please don't say yes. Please don't say yes. We didn't. A 1-goal loss. So realistically, we are still improving this team, and we still need time to actually go out and improve. Now, the Turkish treble, I'm going to take any time because it is a big achievement and one we can all be proud of back at Galatasaray. Going into the next season, we have got 26 million, a bit more, maybe 30.5 million. So again, the average budget you're going to become used to seeing, because that's roughly what you get every single year, unless you get new owners that are got a little bit of cash coming in. But what I will say is, looking over at the tactic, by the way, if you do want to get this tactic and carry on this rebuild and get all of these other wonderful perks, you can come over to the Patreon, where we're also giving away 1 copy of FM25 every Saturday until the release. So there's going to be, I think it's like 7 copies, loads of copies to give away, and also a big giveaway is being announced literally tomorrow, looking at the time of this video. So do come over and get involved. But let's go over and actually see what the player's done in the best 11, because I feel like showing the stats on this screen's a little bit better, because we can actually see who gets into the team and who doesn't. So we are going to have a Cardi, not as many as a Seamhen, but he does pick up the responsibility with 46 goals. We've got 5 from Zaha, who enjoyed a average season. Ziyech had a great season, 20 and 16. 36 and 21 for this man. Now, this is a man who I was very iffy on, but he's come in and shut me up, to be honest with you. Ozcan had a great season, 7 and 18, 7 and 10 for Torreira. Again, our wing-backs enjoying a great time. Jella coming in with 22 and 15 for Sasha Bowie. Let's not forget about the bench, though. We can't forget about them. We've got 14 goals there for Yilmaz again, who, by the way, is going under the radar. But do you know what, Yilmaz? Thank you, because you are getting some important goals in there. We've got Amet down here with 3, 9 for Roland as well. But other than that, to be honest, it is mainly the first team that are really picking up the bulk load of the responsibility, because once again, we don't have like loads and loads of real good bench players. I mean, to be honest, Bashwai, he needs to be sold because he doesn't get into the team at all, and I'm sure we can look at other players in this team as well. The likes of this guy, I actually was a big fan of him, but he's not getting game time. He is 32, maybe his time's up at the club. That could be an example. And if we actually go over to the squad, I would imagine we are going to have a few contracts, which we are. So we have got to worry all the way here. So we have got quite a few. We've got Davison Sanchez, who I do want to keep, obviously. He could go. Icardi I want to keep. I want to keep Ziyech. I'll keep Zaha. He can go. He can go. He can go. He can go. He could go, he could go. So, I mean, maybe we could keep him for a bit. But to be fair, there's probably like 3 or 4 players tops that we want to keep out of this group of players, which means we've got to be sensible, because we've only got 30 million. We can't afford to lose everyone and gain no one. So maybe we will just dish out contracts so we've got some players in the squad. But realistically, you know where I stand now with these players. And we are going to look to go into Season 3. And to be honest, just make some progress in the Champions League. That is the last box we've got to tick. And then we've done everything with the mighty Gala. A little heads up, I did actually let no one go, as I've decided to build up a big squad with lots and lots of depth, because I will say last season we did pick up injuries, and that was a big issue, especially in the Champions League. But signing one is going to be Alistair Johnston, coming in at right back for £15 million, where he played almost every game and dropped 19 assists. Again, showcasing how good this tactic is at extracting the performance from a decent wingback. Signings are going to be free, starting off with Nunes coming in from the likes of Norwich. So again, a bit of a step up. He come in, didn't play too many games, but do you know what? A player on the free, only on 38 grand a week. He actually looks incredibly well-rounded, and he's only 27, which again is quite young for this team. So welcome in to Nunes. We're also going to go over and pick up a very good player. I say a very good player, a decent player back in the day that was rated incredibly highly. That is going to be Dan Juma, a leading Super League player, and he has come in, and to be honest, I'm not going to sugarcoat things, he's not performed that well. He's played 29 games, 2 goals, 6 assists. I was expecting better. When you look at his dribbling, his first touch, his technique, his pace, I thought he would come into this league and have an absolute field day. Unfortunately, in Season 1, that's not happened, but of course, we still have 2 more seasons where he can redeem. Also going to turn and pick up Santiago Heze, coming in from the likes of Olympiacos. He comes in on the free once again, where he plays 15 games, 2 assists, and drops a 7.12. Now, I don't hate it. I don't love it. He isn't going to be in the first team, obviously, because we have got better options. So them stats I probably will accept. He's not on a lot of money per week either. And again, we've always got to remember when we are making these free signings, if they don't work out, we can cash in. So for example, if I do want to sell him, we could easily get 10 million for him, which is all profit for the Galatasaray club. We also are going to pick up, and I will say it, an absolute baller. That is going to be Bentancur, coming in from the Saudi League. So he's going to take a big pay cut. He plays almost every game. And again, similar to the other role, he isn't going to have loads and loads of impressive stats. But he plays a lot of games and drops above a 7 match rating, which tells me he can be consistent over a good run of games. And the only downside to this guy is that wage. It's an absolute joke. But the whole point of this rebuild is to bring in how they would these older players that have got big names, big reputations, and Bentancur, he's played for Tottenham, he's played for Juve, he's a big player. Speaking of big players, a little bit of flair, a little bit of trickery, we are going to welcome in Alex St-Maximin, coming in from the Saudi League once again. Obviously, the previous Fenerbahce man and also Newcastle man. I do apologise to any Fenerbahce fans right there because I know that doesn't usually run. But again, we are going to deal with it and we are going to look at a 34-game season, 12 goals, 20 assists, 7.66 on the average rating, and he has still got it going on. He's 30 years of age, but just look at him. He's got 19 dribbling, he's got the first touch, he's nearly got 20 flair, he's still quick, he's got the agility. His only weakness, that would be his finishing, but to be honest, as you can see in the stats, as long as he's getting the assists, that's all I really care about. And to be honest with you, looking at all of these wonderful players we have brought in, I am confident going into Season 3. The question is, was I being delusional? Let's go and find out. Well, I can tell you something for free. We are not being delusional in terms of the league because we are going to win it back to back to back to back. 3 times on the bounce, winning 30 games, drawing 2 and losing the other 2. So, I mean, again, no one's ever getting near us because we're absolutely dominant over everybody. We've got the likes of Icardi performing well, Zanilo performing well, Kakir's still picking up the most clean sheets. We are having an absolute field day over here. And you know what? St-Maximin and also Johnson coming in, or Johnston, sorry, coming in. That is a really good sign that our signings have had instant impact, which is quite hard to see sometimes. And we get to the Champions League final and we lose against Real Madrid, and I'm fine losing against Madrid, but losing by 1 goal is absolute heartbreak. And I'll tell you what, fair play to the boys because Dan Juma had an incredible Champions League, so did Icardi, but honestly, that is heartbreak. Luckily for us, we have won 2 more trophies. The Turkish Super Cup, we are going to win 3-0, so that is again another trophy, and we're going to complete another Turkish treble by going over and scoring 2-0 in the Turkish Super Cup final. Now, what I will say is, looking at this, it is beautiful winning these Turkish trebles, but I want a Champions League. It's all I want in my life. I want a Champions League trophy, and hopefully one day we can go and get that because we've got 2 more seasons to crack on and get the job done. But I mean, we'll go over and have a little look at how the team done, and we are going to get a good understanding. We're looking at this screen right now. It's going to be Icardi again. I mean, Zanilo, 41 and 18, 23 and 23 for Hakim Ziyech, St-Maximin, 17 and 26, 23 assists for Johnston, Gellert coming in with 4, so he is finally dropping off in the assists, 11 goals for Kabak and 6 for Sanchez. Them set pieces are absolutely incredible. 55 goals for Icardi. Realistically, he is going to drop off as well, so we might need to go and pick up a striker because apart from him as an all-and-out striker, even Yilmaz is slowing down a little bit now. So, I mean, we have got to be realistic. And, I mean, Dan Juma had an okay season. Zaha, an average season. This guy here, I've not even discussed, had quite a good season at left-back, actually, with 16 assists, which may be explaining why Gellert is not in. Because I would imagine he is getting more of the game time. So, that's interesting to see. But realistically, I'm looking at the team right now, and I'm looking at a team that has just got to a Champions League final. Obviously, we're not quite good enough to win the Champions League final, and I look at the team and I think, yeah, that is probably accurate, to be fair. We've got decent players, but I wouldn't say it's a Champions League winning team. So hopefully the budget is looking nice. It's looking, I think, the worst one we've had. £25 million to go into Season 4 when we're trying to push to maintain a Turkish treble and win a Champions League. Thank you, board. I could have done with about double that, but we'll go in and see what we can do. Let's go into Season 4. So we are going to wave goodbye to Hakim Ziyech. He is going to get a move over to the Saudi League on the free, where he has played now 2 seasons, because we are combining Season 4 and 5 in one bit of a send-off, because there's a lot of stuff that's happened. It is going to be a cluster of the video. So if you have stuck around, you're being rewarded. So be sure to leave a like on the video, because we are now going to get into the real juicy part of the video. Season 4, I actually attracted TREBLE coming in on the free, where he has now had 2 seasons for us. We are now going into this season, so don't worry. He did not play a single game. He did get game time, but for the first season, he played 33 games and dropped a 7.25, which for a centre-back is actually somewhat decent. He's now 29, so he's on the older side. Usually pick this guy up around 25, 26. We've got him at 29, but he still looks very, very good. We're also going to pick up Pedrola. Now, this guy is a bit of a gamble, and as you can see, that gamble didn't... Actually, do you know what? It did pay off. 9 appearances as a substitute, 8 goals, 1 assist. Now, that I would say is a return. He come in to be a bench player and potentially get into the first team. And what I will say is, so far, he is doing the job well. He's got good acceleration, he's got good pace, he's got good dribbling, he's got good finishing. And you know what? As players go, he's one of our youngest. All fans, I am sorry, but I have taken Curtis Jones because he is a star Super League player. Look how versatile this man is. Again, 28 years of age, so got a few years in him. He's incredibly well-rounded and can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions if needed. Now that is a man I want into my team. He come in and actually is somewhat impressed in both seasons, because he is playing all over the gaff, but in the most recent season, which is actually Season's 5 stats, he has got 19 assists, so he's obviously locked himself in to one of them positions. A bit of a backup left back / first team. We are going to welcome in Luka Netz, who comes in for 4.2 million. He played a ton of games in that first season, didn't really do much in terms of the assists, which I will be honest does hurt a little bit, because usually Luka Netz absolutely thrives in a sort of attack and wing back system, but in this system he didn't, and that was going to be all of the transfers to Season 4. The question is, how did we do in Season 4? We actually come out and put on nearly an invincible display. As you can see, winning 30, drawing 3, and losing 1 game against Fenerbahce, who again are closing that gap now from first to second, so we've got to be careful. Also found ourselves in the Turkish Cup against Besiktas. Again, a very tough game, which we made look easy. 1-0 up inside of 32 minutes there, with Salir also finding the top right-hand corner to make it 2. And we go again. Now, this is the left back we were talking about, going down the wing and putting an immaculate ball into the box, into Icardi, and we wrap it up 4-0 with the new man. Also did win the Turkish Super Cup in the 4th season, 7-1, meaning we did do the Turkish treble once again. Unfortunately, we didn't win the Champions League. We got knocked out in, I believe, the quarterfinals this time, so not an impressive season, and I got so annoyed at the result of not improving, I instantly went into the next season. So let's roll right into Season 5, because I want to try and really win a Champions League. If not, you're going to have to take over and prove me wrong, because we're dominating Turkey. We need a Champions League. Please. Start with Batshuayi is going to go out on the free. We have finally got rid of him. He is going to go to Nottingham Forest, where, do you know what? He actually had a decent Premier League season. Fair play to him. Signing 1 is going to be a star goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Not the best time at Arsenal, but he has played a ton of games for Southampton. He come to us on the free as to start as a backup. He can eventually overtake Kakir if he does move on and when he gets older. He only plays 4 games, but he keeps 3 clean sheets. So, do you know what? Fair play to him. He's a very, very good goalkeeper. And for that, well, we didn't pay a penny for him, so definitely for that price, we'll take him. He's going to pick up Taylor Booth, coming in from Arsenal. So again, 2 previous Arsenal players. He comes in on the free, plays 22 games, scores 3 goals, picks up 3 assists, drop a 7.21. I mean, looking at him, he's nothing exactly special, but he can cover a variety of positions. And once again, for the age, one of the youngest in the team. We're also going to pick up Nadim Bajrami, coming in from the likes of Rangers. So picking up from the Scottish League is always a gamble, because they do play in a bit of a, I don't want to say weak league, but you know, it's a bit of a step up, I would say, even to Turkey. Well, he's completely silenced me, because 18 goals and 9 assists inside of 34 games and a very impressive average rating. So do you know what? Fair play to him. He has played for some big teams as well over in Italy, so I shouldn't really have doubted him at all, to be honest. Welcome in, and thank you for a great season. A real big signing is going to be one for your future, and hopefully a future in the present where he has come in and done well. It is going to be a future wonder kid, Ander Albisu. I'll take it. He's come on and obviously played a few games. He's nearly scored in bang on half his games. That's not a bad first season. It's a lot of money invested into the youth, but our youth system is diabolical, so we have to sort of buy any youth we want, and that's exactly what we've done, bringing in, hopefully, this Spanish star. Also picked up James Gomez, practically on the free, technically not on the free. He's 67k from Sparta Prague, where he come in and actually didn't play a single game. Now, he was backup, but do you know what? Looking at him, the guy's a man mountain. He's quick, he's got good jumping, he's got good strength, he's got good tackling, he has got anything you would ever want for a player. I would argue he should be in the team, to be honest with you, but hopefully, with these signings, we can have one last crack at this Champions League. Let's go and see what we've done. I just want to win it at least once. That's all I want to see. Hopefully we can get it done. Let's go and find out. I'm going to start off by maintaining the league title. And I mean, look how many times we have now won that league title. An invincible season to wrap up the video as well. 29 wins and 5 draws. Icardi with 26 goals. St. Maximin and Curtis Jones doing the business when it comes to the assists. And also, you've got Kakir with 22 clean sheets. So do you know what? In the league, we're golden. The Turkish Cup final, another Besiktas game, and as you can see, we are going to find it incredibly easy to go 1-0 up inside of 32 minutes, and we make it 2-0 in 35 minutes. Salir Ozcan with another goal, as it is going to be this incredible left-back, going down the left, of course, in the middle into Icardi to make it 3, and another 4-0 victory. It's a flashback. Cup final against Fenerbahce is going to find us in quite a challenging game, but luckily for us, we've still got Icardi pumping in goals, who makes it 1-0 and actually wraps the game up 2-0. We are going to go on to also win that Turkish Super Cup 2-0, which I'll just show you, so I've clearly forgot that, and also this game against Fenerbahce. And I will say right now, the Champions League, I'm very annoyed. I don't know if you can tell. I am quite annoyed. We have not won the Champions League, and that is going to be 5 seasons as well. We have given it a very good go across all of these seasons. I think the furthest we've got obviously is that final, which was down here where we have lost 2-1. And this is the real tough thing with managing a team like Galatasaray, because I look at the team we've got right now, and obviously we have got good players. We've got players that are scoring 38 goals, 25 assists, 25 and 13. This man here, by the way, he is the player of the rebuild, to clarify. He is an absolute, he's a machine, a serious baller. But the issue is when you're not being given a lot, not even lots of money, but, you know, here again, I mean, like 9 million, 18 million, it's difficult to bring in future players where you can build a real project. But I have had a great time still doing the video. It's very fun to sign these older players and get to use them. I tried to keep it down a realistic approach of where I am signing older players as they would in real life. And hopefully you can take on the challenge over on the Patreon, where you're going to get the rebuild file, you're going to get the tactic as well. Obviously, a little bit of a sneak glimpse of the tactic as well, and hopefully you can win the Champions League, because that is going to be the ultimate challenge for you. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, because we have added several trophies to the mix here. We've added tons of league titles, tons of cups as well, but of course we are missing that Champions League final. And you know what? I'm going to leave it up to you to try and get the job done. Let me know in the comments if there's ever a video like this where I don't achieve exactly what I sort of want to achieve. Do you want me to carry on until I do achieve it, or do you just want to see your 5 season sort of vibe? Because of course, it's still a semi-new rebuild channel. I want to get what everyone wants to see, because I don't want to pump out too many long videos and you're not interested. But do let me know, because for me, I might have carried on for a little bit. But let me know in the comments what you think. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.